Hello again. Observing British families, one thing which is very noticeable is that mothers in some sections of society tend to have many children, while in other groups they limit themselves to no more than one or two. Throughout the world, those living in poor countries usually have lots of children, but those in wealthy, stable societies in Europe and the United States, for instance, usually have one, two at the most. There's obviously sound economic reason for this. If you have a lot of children, at least one of them might end up looking after you in old age, but that's another question entirely. These differences in breeding strategy persist even when those from the less developed places migrate to countries like Britain. It has been suggested that this is an instance of RK selection theory in practice. In the animal kingdom, some species have lots of young and then more or less leave them to get on with it, giving them hardly any care and attention as they grow. Think about frog spawn, for example, and all the millions of tadpoles, of which the parent frog takes no care at all. That is an instance of our reproduction strategy. Now consider the case of the blue whale, which has a single calf and cares for it and nurtures it tenderly, investing a huge amount of effort in its upbringing for a long time. That is a K strategy. There's no significance to the letters R and K, by the way. They're simply standard symbols used when considering a problem in ecology. Some mammals follow the R strategy. Rats, for instance. They have lots of babies, and those reach sexual maturity early and start having lots of babies themselves at a young age. The mother rat doesn't take all that much care of the little baby rats. Elephants, though, are followers of the K strategy, only having a single calf, which they care for and protect for a long time. Humans tend towards the K strategy, although it has been said that some human societies and ethnicities favor K, that is, having a single child or perhaps two, more than others. Other human populations, even in the same territory, supposedly pursue the R strategy by having lots of children and not paying over much attention to them. There are some populations in Britain where getting women pregnant is viewed as a sign of virility, and a male might impregnate women in London, Birmingham, and Manchester, say, offering no help at all in the raising of the children. The aim is simply to spread his genes as far and wide as is practical. This is the R strategy. The difficulty can be that when these two populations coexist in the same territory, those who follow the K strategy of typically having a single child can find their offspring outcompeted for resources by those who pursue the R strategy. Resources, whether this is food, shelter, work, medical care, or anything else, are always limited, and a breeding strategy which reproduces many offspring will usually ensure that they overwhelm those who are a little more thoughtful about the number of young whom they produce. If you combine this with the fact that some human populations reach sexual maturity at an earlier age than others, and can therefore themselves start producing young earlier than those in the K strategy group, then it's easy enough to see what might result in the long run. We are perhaps in this country seeing played out this very struggle between the two competing breeding strategies.